and then we'll get started. Okay, hello, it's Jane Mark. We're having a webinar today on something very unusual. I'm calling it Marketing Stew. And we'll get to the meat of it in just a moment. In case some of you don't know me, I'm the president of So Cool Inc. I work with this wonderful partner named Phil Baston, who develops all of these great sites. We've been doing this for, I guess, almost 13 years now online. So we know a little bit about marketing, at least we hope we do. And so what we decided to do today is to have a webinar, not just a live demonstration, which we do a lot of, and we're going to be doing a lot more of on individual sites. But I want to kind of paint a picture for you of what you really need to do to learn your craft and become a marketer. And we're going to have a follow-along link so you can follow along with my points in a minute. But first, I want to ask you guys if you noticed something that I did when I sent out the invitation for this webinar. When I first started to send it out, I'm going to refresh your memory. What I did was at the bottom of it, I listed about 5 of our sites. And underneath the sites, all I said was join these sites free. Now, here's my question to you, and I want you to type some answers into Phil's box, and he'll tell me what you're saying. Why did I do that? I could have just sent you out, we're having a webinar. Please register here, told you what the webinar was about. But I didn't do that. I added 5 of our sites, and I said all of these sites can be joined free. So I need to hear some feedback from some of you before I put up our follow-along link. Why did I do that? What was the purpose of me doing that? Anybody know? Anybody want to hazard a guess? Don't be shy. We won't reveal your name if you want. Okay, somebody said free always attracts more customers. That's absolutely true. What else? The sites are interlinked. That's true, but not the main reason that I sent it out. Free doesn't scare people away. Okay. Good answer. Still not the one I'm looking for. Keep guessing, guys. We want to give good value. Yes, that's always true, but still not the answer I'm looking for. So Jane will make more money. Not really. Only down the road, and that's a hint for you. I want to make sure that people read the whole email. Yes, all of these are great answers, guys. Some of them I wouldn't have even thought of, but they're very good answers. Still not the one I am looking for. Thank you. Who said that? Larry Scott. He hit it on the nose. It was because I want to build a list. So let's talk about, first of all, so that you know what we're getting at. This is, Phil, you can put the follow-along link now because Larry got it right, and since we reveal it in the follow-along link, we can talk about it. But Marketing Stew, that's the name of the webinar. Here's why. There is no one way to advertise and promote and to market online. There are many ways. The first and foremost and absolutely most important is building a list. Now, when I send out an email, since I own a lot of programs, no matter what program I'm sending out, I will get you on a list. I will get somebody on a list if they sign up to that program. And of course, if you say sign up free, all of you, many of you were right. That's an easy way to get people on a list. But the point is, guys, you do not want to be doing any marketing. I mean any marketing that where you are simply sending out an affiliate link and in hopes of getting a sale. Because most affiliate sites, not ours, by the way, we'll get to that in a minute, but most affiliate sites, you are signing people up, but you're signing them up to their site. And if that person doesn't upgrade, you get nothing out of it. You can't contact that person again. You can only contact them that one time that you did the promotion. So why is it so important to build your own list? And here's some numbers that you should get familiar with. In the marketing world, the way we calculate the value of a list member, and I know this sounds very crude, but this is the way marketers look at list members, which is that one list member is worth $1 a month over a lifetime of a list. So that, for example, if you have 5,000 people on a list, you should expect to make out of that list $5,000 a month. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean everybody is buying from you. It means some people obviously spend more than $1 a month with you. Others don't spend any money. But on the average, the way marketers look at the value of a list is if you have a member, they're worth $1 a month to you. So obviously, if you have $10,000, 10,000 members on a list, then you can look to make realistically $10,000 a month. Now, is that always true? No. We'll get to that later where we talk about targeting a list. But here's the point. Let's say that you ordered a solo ad from anyone. I'm sure many of you have ordered solo ads all over the place. If you send out a promotion with your affiliate link in it, even if it's a fabulous solo ad place where you've gotten results before and you really love it, whatever, it's not important. Whoever signed up that day and maybe purchased, that's your one and only shot at that person. So now you've spent good money on a solo ad, but all you've done is given yourself one shot to reach that person who may be interested in that particular site that you're advertising that day. You don't want to do that. You want every solo ad mailing that you do is a way to steal people from the list that you are sending that solo ad to. And in order to do that, you need to have a way to put them on your own list. On your own list, not the list of the owner of the site, unless you can have an emailer in the site. But you need to put every single one of your promotions. The first thing you should think is, how do I send that promo out so I can get a person on a list? Because when you get a person on a list, you can talk to them forever, provided, of course, that they like you and they want to stay on your list. That's another issue. But you get many, many, many times to sell them a product that you may be promoting or that you're interested in. And you have to remember, not everybody is interested in the same product. So let's say you have a list that's mostly interested in advertising tools, like Phil and I do. Not every product that we send out is going to interest our list members. We try to keep it within the realm of advertising tools, but sometimes we promote courses or other kinds of SEO training, whatever. Not everybody's interested in that. That's fine. They don't buy it. Maybe they delete it. That's fine. But the next time you do a mailing, you still have the ability to sell somebody something on your list because you have access to them. So think of ways that you can do a promotion that really benefits not the immediate sale that you're going to make by promoting an affiliate link, but how you can do a promotion so that you can get somebody on a list. So that's really why most of the time when I send out a webinar information, a webinar invitation, I don't actually put a lot of other links in. If we're doing a demo on SoCool, I might put the SoCool link in, but I don't usually list 5 links in an invitation to a webinar. The reason I did it was really I wanted to make a point to you today, which is if you're sending a solo ad, either send it, for example, you can build a list, as you all know, and email that list at SoCool and at Yakimore. So if you don't have an autoresponder available to you, like GetResponse or like Aweber, or your own list that you're building, then start building a list, at least at SoCool or at Yakimore, because you can email that list. It means you have access to them over and over and over again. So if they don't like something that you happen to be selling today, maybe they'll be interested in something that you have to sell a week from now or 2 weeks from now. So when we say that it's important to build a list, it's not just important to build it. You need to be maniacal about gearing all of what? Oh, Phil says fanatical. Okay. I say maniacal. He says fanatical. I think fanatic is better. But the point is that what you want to do is you want to organize your promotions so that every single one of them is designed to steal a list member from somewhere and get them on your own list. It really, really does pay off in the long run. And when whatever you're advertising, whatever great program there is of the moment, when you send it out as simply an affiliate program, yes, you may make a sale or two. Are you going to keep long-term sales that way? Not likely. That's why you see all of these programs, they go, bingo, they're great for a week, and then boom, they all die. And if those people that you promoted to are not on your list, you don't get a second chance with them. So the first part of Marketing Stew, because I've been talking about making a marketing stew all week, is you need to develop a list. And you can do that at SoCool. You can do that at Yakimore. When I say develop a list, I don't mean just have a list sitting somewhere. You need to be able to email that list. End of story. Or post to it like you can at SoCool and Yakimore, but you need to be able to contact that list either daily or every other day or every few days. So that's part 1. Okay. Now, there's an even better way to develop a list. If you're just advertising generally, and you've chosen an area, let's say BizOps, to advertise in, you're going to get a lot of different kinds of people in it. I want you to also keep this in mind because we're going to talk about it a little later. Targeting your list. Targeting your list. If you have a targeted list, meaning you have a list of people that are really, really interested in the kinds of things that you sell. We call it a warm group of prospects. You don't need 5,000 people on a list to make $5,000 a month. You could have a list of 100, 150, maybe 200, even up to 1,000 people, all of whom were absolutely lunatics about dog products. Anything dogs, they'll buy anything dogs. They'll buy coats, they'll buy food, they'll buy toys, whatever. You might have a list that only wants to enter cyclers. That's their thing. They love doing these cycler things. You don't need 5,000 people on your list. But I want you to I'm not going to go into it right this second, but we're going to come back to it because targeting a list is even better when you build it. If you can build a targeted list, you're going to make much more money than $1, the $1 average that we talked about, $1 per person per month. So that's part 2. Okay, so why am okay, hang on, I'm just looking at Phil doing something here. Um, I want to talk the next subject, and we're going to tie this all together at the end. The next subject we want to talk about is social media advertising, because you can't really exist on the net now if you aren't doing social media advertising. But I really get to cringe a lot when I see people doing social media advertising. For example, we just opened Yakima, which is kind of a site like Twitter, but we're going to get to why it's so much different and so much better later on. It's just in beta. But I see everybody posting, not everybody, I'm going to take that back. I see you guys posting on Yakima, and I want to say, I want to start yelling at the posts saying, no, 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 no. This is not what you want to be doing on a social media site. Now, on Yakima, it doesn't really matter. People will just ignore it. If you're posting a real ad, like, Phil, you gave me an ad of, but I can't find it right now. Hang on, I'm just trying to find the one that we did that was... Oh, okay. I found it, what I was looking for. Okay, so a lot of the posts that I'm seeing at Yakima, and we'll get to how you can avoid that in a minute, but I'm finding things like, I just found the best site where you can pocket oodles of money daily. And if you look in the follow along link, I have http://dailyoodles.com. So nobody's going to read that on a social media site, guys. They don't want to see it. Different kind of advertising than, say, an email ad. You don't want to make posts like that on a social media site. And Phil rewrote that ad, and here's what he said. And this is a much better kind of social media posting. I'm an experienced marketer, says Phil. I make money online every day. If you would like my help for free, please join me here over in my group discussions on making money online. And he has one of our social media sites listed, CoolSpace. But you could substitute anything for that. Facebook, Twitter's not so good, but let's say Facebook, because people can come and you can exchange ideas on Facebook and things like that. So that's a much less hard-hitting post. It's still advertising the site. He's got a link in there. It says CoolSpace. But he's telling you a bit about himself, who he is, and why you might want to meet up with him in a social media setting, because maybe he can help you. Here's another one. These are, again, Phil's posts. I love Phil's posts. They're really very good. I woke up this morning to a beautiful sunrise, a delicious hot coffee, a purring cat called Winnie the Pooh, and notifications of sales I made while I was asleep in my inbox. How can you be asleep in an inbox? Well, forgetting the English, but anyway, while he was asleep in his inbox, if you'd like to know what I do and how I do it, mosey on over to my Secret Sauce marketing group and join us. My advice is free, and I promise not to bite. That's a really nice way to post on a social media site. And he can take that kind of post over at SoCool, where, remember, if you're posting on SoCool, you're also posting to 86 other social media sites like Facebook and Yakima and Delicious and Twitter and Dig and all of those sites. You do not want to become known on the social media part of the net as the hard-hitting, buy this from me right away kind of poster. You really want to do soft sell when you're doing social media. And so I want you to pay attention to those kind of posts that Phil makes and that you can see on the follow-along link that we have here, because they're really, really will get you far better results. Now, the reason why I said you can go over to Yakima and practice, because Yakimore only posts from at Yak. If you're a free member of Yakimore, the only people that are going to see your posts are the people tracking you at Yakimore. So you can't do too much damage that way. But on the other hand, if you are a So Cool member and you're an upgraded member and you're posting to all of these social media sites, you really want to learn how to make a social media post. And if you go to So Cool, you should watch some of our members who really post nice posts. You can look at Cool Wall at So Cool. They really, our upgraded members have a really good sense of what to post on a site. Oh, I forgot to close this. Okay. No, I'm sorry. Usually I'm demonstrating something. I was demonstrating something in the beginning. I'll just put up, let's see, we'll just put up Yakimore because we are going to talk about that later. And it has to do with list building. So I'll let you look something else beside the keywords. You can go by the keywords later, but okay, so we've talked about the fact that you want to gear all of your advertising towards building a list. You also need to use social media advertising. Does that mean that you shouldn't be building a list at the same time? Absolutely not. I would love to see you guys take either wherever you are building a list, whether it's at GetResponse or your own site or at Aweber or if at So Cool or Yakimore, wherever you know that you can then have another contact with a person. That's the link that you want to use in your posts, even at social media. Do not waste any time. I mean, really, when people say time is money, that's true. If you're not gearing even your social media posts towards building a list, you're really getting off track in terms of long-term marketing goals. So that brings me to automated marketing, because many of you belong to One-Click Marketing or Cool Ping, which really is a series of, in this case of Cool Ping, it's just a ping. We ping your website every 3 days. One-Click is more sophisticated. There are 11 submitters there, and every 3 days or 15 days or 30 days, we're submitting your site to keyword submitters and classified submitters and backlinking submitters, and you name it, we're submitting to it. Do you want to put an affiliate link in there? The answer is, depending on how many campaigns that you bought, you can certainly put an affiliate link in there. Are you going to get your best success from that? No. Submitters are meant to be just an adjunct to your list building advertising, your social media advertising. Maybe you even use traffic exchanges. That's not my area of expertise, but many people use them. But even in your automated advertising, you want to use links that are going to give you a better result than if you just stick in an affiliate link. I see Gary Wolf is here, who does a lot of promoting. Thank you very much, Gary, for One-Click. And a lot of his people belong to World Light Funding. Great site, by the way. But a lot of them obviously are putting in their World Light Funding site. That's fine as a beginning. But now you want to start to think in a little bit more sophisticated terms. So I'm going to show you something. Remember, for some of you who were here early, I was doing something with Walter Barbarian, showing him about articles. We were talking about writing articles over at CoolSearch, which was why CoolSearch was open. I want to just show you what I do and the way I use submitters. You don't have to do this, but I highly recommend it. We searched before on Yakimore, on the term Yakimore. Now, this is a very young site, Yakimore. We've only been open for 16 days, right? So what is the first listing that you see when you search on the term Yakimore? It's an article. that I wrote over at Cool Search. And I can get, you can all do this. If you write an article at Cool Search, I can almost guarantee you if you use the right keywords, you are going to get listed on page 1 of whatever you're writing about. But the more interesting thing is that when I wrote this article, it generates a link for me. Now, I can be first today on page 1 if you, on the search term Yakimor, but I guarantee you that if I don't send more traffic to this article site, for example, that I probably will start to slip down to maybe 3, 4, 5, 6. Eventually, I may not be first on the term Yakimor. So what do? I take this whole URL and I stick it into OneClick, because what that is doing for me is it's sending traffic to this unique link, not an affiliate link. It's a unique link that I can keep updating over at Cool Search and make slightly different changes in it, and I can keep that, my ranking on the search engines, for a much longer time in a much higher rank, because I'm just sending automated traffic to it. Now, somebody wrote me today and said, I don't exactly know the words he said in support, I'm not getting legitimate people to come to my site. I don't know what a legitimate person is, but I'm not getting a legitimate person to do anything at my site through OneClick. So I was completely confused, because OneClick is about bringing traffic to your site. We can't make somebody sign up, even if they get there. We certainly can't convert them to buying whatever your product is. That's something your website and or you yourself need to do. The only thing that automated advertising can do for you is to bring traffic over time to your site, so that somewhere someone is seeing that site. It cannot substitute for email advertising or social media advertising or following up on the phone with people if you have certain products. It is simply a way to direct traffic in various ways, and it can build up over time to a lot of traffic. But it is not the way to get whatever this person meant by legitimate people to my site, because it seems to me what he was saying is, well, there's traffic coming to my site, but those people didn't buy from me. No. That automated traffic like CoolPing or OneClick or any kind of submission traffic is not going to bring you buyers. You're going to bring those buyers in by following up on anyone who signs up under you at that site. Or if you're advertising, of course, a lousy website, they're not going to upgrade. But the follow-up and the sales is up to the website and to you. Do not expect from a submission tool that that's the end of your advertising and that you can just put it in and you never have to do anything else, because life would be very beautiful if that were true, but it's not. So that brings us to the next thing, which is you need to set realistic expectations about how and when you are actually going to start to make sales on the net. Now, I don't know if Steph is here today. Many of you may know Stefan Turine. I always say his name wrong, but Steph, you know who I mean. Turigny. Anyway, I don't think he's here today, but he's doing something very interesting. He's actually joined a challenge that a friend of ours is running, where he's taking a year of his time to build a list. That's it. Build a list of 5,000 people to make $5,000 a month. Remember, we talked about that earlier, that your list on the average, is worth $1 per month per person. And Steph is actually joining 5 other people in a challenge to build a list of 5,000 people over a year. A year, not tomorrow, not next week, not in a month. That's a realistic goal to set, by the way. That building a list of 5,000 people over a year. That certainly is doable. But that's not instant coffee, like many people who market on the net think that you're going to make them a lot of money instantly. You're not going to do it. So what about with social media advertising? Social media advertising is, as we said, you want to gear it towards building a list. And you can do that, and you can get people on a list through your social media advertising. If you post things that are interesting or informative or funny or inspirational, you need to do things in a way that people want to keep reading what you're saying. Because if they don't want to keep it, if they tune you out on social media, then you're wasting your time. So you want to make sure that you're not doing those kind of hard sell ads anytime. If you want to go practice at Yakimore, where nobody much will see it at the moment, they will in a while, but if you're a free member at Yak, you can go and practice to your heart's content. Try to start to look at what we're calling more sophisticated kinds of posting in social media, where they're funny or sad or informational. People are dying for information. You know, like if I want to know what do I do if my cat gets sick and etc., you know, what should I feed it, what should I do? I could go to Facebook. I will get really good information. You want to be known as a purveyor of information. So you want to gear your posts that way. Okay, so hang on 1 minute, guys. I want to see where I am here on the follow along. So in terms of summing up on the automated kinds of sites that many of us join, they're great. Don't not join them, don't not use them, but don't think of them as you can sit on your tush and then you have to do nothing else. No, no, no. You need to build your list. That's your goal in life if you're selling anything. So you want to get on to other things like email advertising. Now, you all gave great answers in the beginning about why I put down free, you know, join these lists free, right? Which essentially my links were really lists and they would join them free. So even if people didn't come to the webinar, many of them will be on one of those lists or another. So that's great. And so from the sense of getting somebody to join a list, that's fabulous. But you guys on a list, if you are a free member of the site, I am almost going to guarantee you will never make any money on that site. And here's why. There are many sites on the net where you can go and you can post your banner for free and you can post your ad for free. Believe me, we run sites like that. But that's not the only thing they have, our sites. They have the emailers because that's where you're going to get your sales. But if you go around the net and you're joining free this, free that, all you're doing is spinning your wheels for the most part because nobody's reading the free ads that you put up. Nobody's reading the banner ads that you put up unless it's at a very, very, very busy site for like SoCool, for example. We get a lot, over 5 million visitors a month at SoCool. So, but you can't put your ad up free there anyway. There you have to purchase it because we have a lot of traffic. So when you're posting free ads on a lot of sites over the net, believe me, nobody is clicking on them. Nobody's reading them. They're there to do something else at that site. Maybe they're there to use the emailer. Maybe they're there to earn at SoCool, for example, tokens. Free, I say this quite often. I hope nobody gets offended, but it is a 4-letter word from the point of view of you being a marketer, because you first of all, let's say you find a site that you love and you want to promote, and you join it free, and you can even make commissions free, right? Because there are a lot of sites, most of our sites, you can earn as a free member. You can't earn much, 10%, 20%. So if you advertise our site, let's say you're a Yakima member and you're a free member and you advertise it, that's great. But even if somebody upgraded under you, you've now spent your time. And if they upgrade, you're going to get, I think at Yak it's 10 or 15. I don't even know what it is. The site's so new yet. But anyway, you're going to get a small commission. If you were an upgraded member at Yakima or so-called any site, it doesn't matter. You name the site. Whatever you're promoting, you want to promote it to earn the highest commission that you can. Same amount of energy if you spend money to promote anything, same amount of money, and yet you're going to earn peanuts. That's just defeating your purpose as a marketer. So that's mostly why I say free is a four-letter word, because putting up an ad here and there just won't get you any sales. And if you like the site and you promote it, you're not going to earn anything as a free member, not enough to make it worth your while. So you need to have realistic expectations, and the only way you can do that is you need to start to plan your advertising budget. There are many, many good ways to advertise on the site, and I'm going to drop my sites for a while. We have a list of other people's sites, like ListJoe is a great emailing list. It really is a very responsive list. Many times I use Rent-A-List when I do my own ads. But remember, if I'm paying for a solo ad like a Rent-A-List, you can be sure I am not putting an affiliate link to a program in that. I'm paying for it. I am sending out an ad that I'm paying for. I want to get as many people on a list of my own when I pay for advertising. But you need to have an advertising budget. You cannot survive in any business. It's not just in the marketing online business. You can't run a business without investing in it. And the usual rule of thumb is that you invest about 10% of your revenue back into your advertising budget. Now, many of you may be new on the net and you say, what revenue? And that's true. But then you have to invest your own money from either your own pocket because you're working, or from money that you borrow from somebody. You can't start a business on the net with no money. It's just totally unrealistic. You need at least a year to 18 months at the minimum to grow a business online. Advertising online is much cheaper than, say, buying advertising on TV or the radio or even in a newspaper. So you're starting off in a good position. You don't have a lot of costs online like you would on an offline business, but you've got to set aside an advertising budget every single month. And whether that's an upgrade in an emailing site, or whether it's just simply purchasing straight out traffic or advertising or solo ads, whatever it is that's your favorite way to get traffic to your site, you need to budget it in, guys. And I know sometimes it's very distressing for people to hear that, but I've been in business all my life. I'm old enough to be your grandmother. I have a grandson. So I've been running really successful businesses, some of them much bigger than the ones on the net in real estate and that kind of stuff, before I retired, so to speak, and got onto the net. You can't start one without money. There's just no way to do it. So I'm going to say, that's why I say that free is a four-letter word, because you're really defeating your efforts when you always think in terms of joining a site free. That doesn't mean you're going to upgrade in everything or buy everything. People go overboard. They tried this, they tried that. They don't focus. But you do need to set aside a budget. Okay, so the marketing stew is really a mixture of email advertising to build your list. It's social media advertising. It's also automating as many things as you can so that you always have traffic running in the background for you. And now I'm going to talk about something that's really very near and dear to my heart, and that is targeting your list. This is probably what makes the most effective marketers make the most money online. And I know that we're in about a week and a half. As soon as we come out of beta at Yakimore, we're going to have a demo on Yakimore. There is one reason really, and two reasons that we started Yakimore. The first is that we really found that Twitter was doing a big disservice to a lot of small businesses on the net. And I love Twitter, so don't get me wrong, but they're charging a lot of money to a lot of big businesses to advertise, which is really closing out the small businesses on the net because they can't afford their prices, which start at $5,000 a month and go to $100,000 a month. So most small businesses can't do that. And the second thing is because they need to focus on the revenue aspect of their site now, which is, it hasn't produced a nickel for them. So far they've got $800 million in investments, but not a nickel in revenue yet. So now they're concentrating on their revenue stream. God love them, they have to do that. But what it means is they don't want to see all these links that people used to put up from the smaller businesses sort of competing with their very big advertisers. So we took a look and we said, well, we can do Twitter. We know we can do Twitter. We have SoCool, and it's, in my opinion, better than Twitter anyway, in terms of a business site. So we decided to set something up where smaller businesses are going to be able to do two things. And most businesses love this. One, you're going to be able to purchase advertising at Yakimore at a very reasonable price. And I don't know, I don't even know. I just want to show you something because the same thing that Twitter is selling at $5,000 a month, or starting at $5,000 a month. Let me log into Yakimore. I haven't gotten to the real reason yet, but so stay tuned why we started. It's not to sell advertising, but I do want to show you this because you're going to start to see sales of this on Twitter. Let me log in here. Twitter is selling these sponsored tweets, they call them. So we call them sponsored yaks. They stay on the posting page, whatever you want to call it, the yakking page, the posting page. They always stay there. They rotate. Here's one by Sir Green Peter Watson. He's got one up here. His ad will rotate here in the 3rd position, and it will rotate in the 6th position. I have ones here too because these are very, very, very effective ads. They stand out. When this one disappears, if I refresh this, another one is going to rotate in. So Peter's got his ad there again, and he went to the 6th position. I went to the 3rd position. These are going to be very popular ads once we get out of beta here. But that's only one reason. We wanted to give small businesses a way to, I'm reading Stefan's post here. A select group of marketers I live together. See? Gifts, he's giving away gifts. That's another issue. He's building a list. Very important. That's who I was mentioning before. But anyway, I digress. One reason for Yak was to provide affordable advertising. And since all of the SoCool members are also members of Yak, and all of the new sign-ups from SoCool automatically get signed up to Yak. This started off as a big site, close to 80,000 members, and then every time somebody signs up here, it's growing, and every time somebody signs up, it's so cool. So there's a big built-in audience for you right here. The most important part of Yak is about this targeting list that I want you all to start thinking about. When you post at Yak, oh, I'm on the Yak page. Let me backtrack. When you signed up to SoCool, because any of you who are members of Yak, when you signed up to SoCool, you needed to pick 3 areas of interest to sign up. Those areas of interest, maybe it was BizOps, maybe it was real estate, maybe it was health. Those trackers at SoCool are all your trackers over here at Yak. You can target your posts now to people who you know are interested in what you have to say. So, for example, my target posts, I can post to all my trackers, which are, I don't know, about 10,000, something like that. I don't know what they are right now, but they're around there. So I could send a post out, and all of my people who are tracking me at Yak will see it. But suppose I want to, some of you know I'm very political, so I'm very interested in politics. So if I want to post to only my people who are tracking me who also are interested in politics, I could do that. So, and I could also not post to them, but I would, let's say I have a new emailer I want to talk about, I can post to people who are interested in email submission. Or I could post to people who are interested in business and self-employment, or both. Doesn't matter. This is the most important kind of list that you can have on the net. As I said, you do not necessarily need a large list if you have a targeted list. Now, for politics, you're not going to sell many, unless you've written a book on politics, in which case you could sell it. But if I'm going to open a new mailer or talk about emailing or submission services, I'm going to particularly target it to this group, and I can make a thing like stay tuned, we are redeveloping our TAD site emailer soon. Okay, so then I can post to SoCool, and my Yak is going to go to the people who are interested in email and email submission services. This is the main reason why we started Yak. There are a lot of other reasons which I won't go into right now because we're going to do a whole demo on Yak. We started something. I don't know if it's working yet, Phil. Do I dare show this? Where you're, I don't even know how it works yet. But when somebody reads your Yak, it shows, oh, there it is. Okay. It shows where Stefan's site is. And it's supposed to show your website, but what? Go to settings. Wait, Phil is all interested. Now I'm going to settings. Yeah. This is my thing, though. Yeah. Oh, notice this. Okay. Hang on, gang. We're just trying something. Okay, Phil wants me to go back to the Yak page and click on one of mine. One of my what's? This? Okay. I'm clicking on one of this. This is something we just put in today, guys, and we're in beta, so it doesn't necessarily work. Oh, it did work. So this is another really interesting part about Yak, is that this is paid members, by the way. This won't, if you're a free member of Yak, you're not going to get this, but this is really cool. And it's going to work, so not only when you click on this arrow, but when you mouse over it, it will bring up the website that you mentioned in here, whatever you were mentioning or wanted to mention. And if you didn't mention a thing, it'll bring up the website in your profile, and it'll tell people where your business is located if you want it to. He was bringing me to notices because you can set it not to show. But I don't know why anyone would not. I mean, it's like giving you 3 bites of the apple. So somebody's going along, and they, first of all, if you're a free member, these are all paid members right now who posted, but okay, here's a free member. People are going to see that this free member doesn't have this arrow, so they're going to wonder, well, what the heck is this? And they're going to go look at these arrows and see what happens. And I'll do this in about 2 weeks. We'll be out of beta, and all this will really work well, so I can show you it better. But this is really cool that you can get your whole website that you're talking about showing. So, so the main reason for Yak is so that you can, not only can you post to targeted groups, but once we get out of beta, when this will have an ability, this is an emailer, so upgraded members can actually email their trackers. I can email 10,000 people every 3 days, which is really nice. I emailed today, so I can't do it right now. But you'll be able not only to do just what I did is if you don't want to mail to all of your trackers, you could pick out the political ones and mail something to them, or the submission ones and mail something to them. Or the BizOp ones. This is real. This is the most powerful kind of advertising you can do. And by the way, you can't do this at Twitter yet. I'm sure that they'll follow up us on what we're doing because we stole their sponsored Yaks. They'll probably do their targeted tweets. But this is a very powerful way to advertise. So you want to get involved early at Yakimore. And we do have a special bonus. I want to tell you, this is really for real. This is a big site. We can't hold the prices where they are on Yakimore. And we really want those of you who are really dead serious about advertising, you need to get into this now because this targeting stuff is really where it's at. And we have, they're basically 3 memberships at Yak. You can come in free, and you're welcome to do that and stay free. There's a basic one which is $9.95 a month. Forget that. It's not going to give you what you need. The emailing one where you can build targeted lists and emailing them is what you want. And somewhere over here there's a upgrade thing. You can see if you're, most of you I'm sure are members of Yak because you're members of SoCool, but you will see that in both the business and the executive memberships, which these are the prices now. I can tell you right now, this is going, when in about 2 weeks, we will have all of the moving parts in Yak, including something we call Yakins, which is going to let you get targeted, not just any trackers. They're going to let you get targeted people on your list. So this is, I'm in love with this site. But it's still in beta, so not everything's ready. This will go to $14.95 a month. And you can't email here, so I'm really not encouraging you to get this membership. This will go to $297 a year, once all the moving parts in the place. And this will go to $697. It's a lifetime membership. If you can swing it. Those of you who know us and saw SoCool develop from this little pipsqueak site to really quite a presence on the net, know that when we say we're going to deliver a really good site to you, we're going to deliver a really good site to you. And Yakimore is going to be very, very interesting with its targeting ability. So if you can swing it, you can buy this now. What we're doing is offering, if you can swing the $197, what we're going to do is give you 2 free extra months on your membership. So if you buy it today, we'll change the date on it so that you actually get 14 months because we are messing around now and we're in beta and stuff. So that seems reasonable that we'll just give you we'll extend the date on your renewal date for 2 months. So if you can do that, that's great. It's even, of course, more effective if you can swing the $497 because you only pay once and you never pay again. And that gets you to email every 3 days. Here you can email every 7 days, once a week, which is fine. But, if you can email a list that you're developing, and especially this kind of targeted list, which, by the way, you don't have to do anything to develop this list. Remember, if you're a SoCool member, all of your so-called people that are following you at SoCool are already following you at Yakima. Every time somebody signs up under you at SoCool, they're automatically signed up here. And of course, you can build them up underneath you here, but they're already targeted in the sense that they're picking interests when they sign up. So you're going to have you'll have a big list of general people that come in under you, but we're building targeted lists for you. That's why I'm so hyped about this site. And some people keep asking me, well, why did you put SoCool members into Yakima? And if you think about it, you guys have spent all this time with us at SoCool, where we build you a list using these SoCins, which we're going to give you $20 million if you sign up today for the executive one. We've been building you all these lists at SoCool. Why would we want to open another site and have you start from scratch? We said, no, that's ridiculous. We have a new idea for a site. We're going to bring all of the people who are already tracking you at SoCool right into Yakima under you. And of course, they can unsubscribe if they don't want to be there. It's not a big problem. They can cancel their account. They can unsubscribe from an email. So if they don't want Yakima and they don't want to stay under you, that's fine. But I'll tell you, most people, we haven't had a whole lot of requests for unsubscribe because people understand that once you have a list, if you can make it follow you into another site, and you can use it in a different way. In other words, if you're already an upgraded member at SoCool and you're emailing your trackers there, don't send them the same email at Yakima. This gives you a second shot at an apple of either building a list or sending out a promo to them. So this is going to be, I would say we have 2 more weeks of really hard, intensive beta, meaning we're tweaking this, we're tweaking that. But in 2 weeks, this site is going to be where we want it to be with the Yakins involved and everything working properly and all that kind of good stuff. Almost everything works properly now, but as we add a new thing, we have to tweak it and test it and all that good stuff. So this is an interesting site, and you should definitely, we're trying to make it very easy. We kept the prices low in the beginning. And for those of you who are here, we're going to give you an extra 2 months on the business one, and we're going to give you double your SoCins for the executive membership. This membership is so low. If you guys remember when you became founding members, because some of you are founding members of SoCool, that started at $1,299 to become a founding member of SoCool, and it then went up to $1,700, and then now it's up to $2,400. So this lifetime membership, which brings you all of your SoCool members over from now, before and all in the future, is really a bargain. If you got the money, go for that, because this site, as it develops, is going to be a wow. So I hope that I've given you some good information tonight about what we're calling the marketing stew. You need to learn to cook. I think it's really, we could sort of bring it down that simply. You need to learn to cook. Your marketing needs to be a combination of automated marketing, making it as simple as you can for yourself, social media marketing, which does take your input, meaning you've got to go in and post somewhere. You might as well do it from SoCool because you can reach every other site from SoCool, and your list building. And all of that marketing should really be directed to list building. So I think I've talked a long time. If anybody has questions they'd like to ask on the air, if you have a mic and you want to ask me something, I'm happy to spend 5 or 10 minutes kicking around stuff that you guys want to know. So let Phil know if you have a mic and I will unmute you. Or even if you just want to say hello, perfectly fine. I know he's been madly answering. He's typing faster than I'm talking. So I know a lot of you must have a lot of questions. So he may have answered them for you. Colleen, Do you have a mic on? I see a hand raise. I never know what that means in here, whether I've got it. Colleen, do you have a mic? No. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to mute you again then. Sorry. Anyone who has a question that you want to ask me? I might disagree with Phil on an answer. You never know. We don't always agree. Oh, I didn't get to say hello to many. Hi, Gabriella. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Doug. Oh, I'm sorry. There's so many of you here. I didn't get to say hello to you. Graham, great to see you. Sean, I hope you've been getting my posts to you about that. We sent your post out on Cool Post because you have one very difficult email address to get through to. I now have your Gmail address, so please check your Gmail address. Oh, I'm going to address this to everybody, all of you there. It is so hard, guys, to get through to so many email addresses now. If you have a Gmail address, you really should start using it in all of your business correspondence because 99% of the time you can get your email address. You will get a response to your Gmail address, but many of your accounts bounce, and it makes me nuts because people will say, I never heard from you. You never not hear from me, guys. We answer our support questions within 24 hours, and I mean that. One of us, Phil or I, needs to be dead not to answer our support questions. If you don't hear from us and you've asked us for some help or support, it's because we simply cannot get our answer through to you, or it ended up in spam. And so use a Gmail address whenever you can because it's very difficult to get through to almost any other address. And John Kernan, I'm going to tell you what I told, I have not gotten, this is great, I get to do some personal business here. John, I need your Cool Post ad. So contact me at socool1@gmail.com because we haven't scheduled your Cool Post run yet. Excuse me, guys. I'm running out of voice here because I don't know what site you want to advertise. So you need to contact me. Sorry, guys, that's just a personal. I noticed John was here, so I thought I would take that time to. And Keith, I saw you come on. I know about your posting problem. It has something to do with your account because we tested a lot of the emailing. So we sent it to the programmers, and I will let you know when you're in good shape to email again. I don't know what happened. You were dead right that you were within the emailing, less than 500 characters. I tried to post your ad, which is perfect. Your ad is great. And I couldn't do it. So it's something that's goofy that we need the programmers to look at. So I just wanted to let you know that. And all of you who are in Yakima, what I want you to do tomorrow, because this is really going to be interesting. I'm not sure it's working quite like it should today, but I want you to start going, especially you paid members. Gary Wolf? Okay, tell him I'll be with him as soon as I finish this sentence. I want you to start doing this clicking on these arrows to test to see if the site and your posts come up. Not tonight. It's not quite working exactly the way it should. But this is really nice exposure, guys, to get your website seen and to get your Google, where you are on the Google map. I love that part. Okay, Gary, wait, I'm coming. Let me find you. Hey, Gary, how are you?
Hey, Jane, this is Gary. How are you?
I'm great, and I'm missing that southern accent of yours. It's so nice.
Okay. Well, first of all, I didn't mean to try to interrupt you there. I just wasn't sure that I got your attention, so I was being patient.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, shoot.
And I do want to say thank you to you and Phil for all that you've done for me. On behalf of the World Light members and One Click, everybody loves it. We're still promoting it at World Light. And also, my question for you is, I'm a So Cool Silver member.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me the additional advantages that I would have with Yakimore? I haven't studied Yakimore yet. Today's really my first time to get some exposure to it. I have signed up as a free member so far, but
Right.
I just kind of like to know the difference in the advantages I would get with Yakimore versus Silver, versus my So Cool.
Well, So Cool is, I mean, right now, your So Cool membership is a strong, let's put it this way, it's a stronger membership because So Cool posts to, you know, these 86 social media sites. So you can't beat that. I mean, that is really one of the most powerful parts of So Cool. And you can email all of your trackers at So Cool in the same way that you can do that at Yakimore. The reason for joining, so let's put it, for the moment, since So Cool is the daddy site and a much stronger site right now, I mean right now today, but not necessarily down the road, what you will get, the reason for upgrading in Yakimore is you have all of your followers who are over at So Cool are already under you and tracking you at Yakimore. So this list that we've been talking about is already here waiting for you at Yakimore. You can email that list let's say you took the business one for $197. You can email that list once a week. Okay, so now over here at So Cool, you're emailing your list of trackers, many of which are duplicates, okay, over at Yakimore. So you're going to mail them something over at So Cool every 3 days, and you're going to mail them something else over at Yakimore once a week. This is like, let me tell you, Gary, how I use lists. I own, I think it's now 270 lists, okay? I belong to dozens and dozens of other people's lists, and I mail to them every chance I can get, meaning, let's say I belong to List Joe, where I think you can mail every 3 days. You can bet that I am mailing at List Joe every 3 days. If I could mail every day, I would. So in other words, by using Yakimore, one of the first things you're getting is another day to mail to the same list. But that's okay. You don't necessarily have to mail the same thing to them, but you have another emailer. And to me, because I'm a builder of email lists, that's the most important advertising tool you can have. Secondly, over here at Yakimore, you'll see how it's going to work in about 2 weeks. We're going to be developing something called Yakins. Now, I know we have Sokins at So Cool, and I won't go into how that works, but basically it's building a list for you on autopilot. Yakins is going to work differently at Yakimore. It is going to build you a targeted list at Yakimore. And so you're going to be, so let's say you're doing, give me something else beside World Light funding. What else? What's another interest of yours?
One Click Marketing.
Okay, One Click Marketing. There you go.
I want to promote that.
Okay, so you could start, and this is 2 weeks down the road, but the reason I want people to upgrade now is because we're going to raise the price when this comes in. Yakins is going to function in a way to let you find all of the people at Yakimore, and right now that's about 80,000 people. All of the people who are interested in submission services, of which there are a lot, believe me. And so you're going to want to direct your posts and your email by checking off that list of people who are interested in submission services or email mailing. I forget what the category says. It's like a combo. So this is going to be I don't know what the right word is. It's going to be a little bit more sophisticated marketing as it develops than So Cool, simply because of the targeted aspect. Now, it's going to do some other things for you, which are not in there yet. Here, in Yakimore, you have a profile page. So this is kind of like your Twitter page or your Facebook page that you would send people to. Right now it says Jane Mark, right? Because it's my profile page. Tomorrow or the next day it's going to say Jane Mark, executive member. Or I have a business account. It will say Jane Mark, business member. Now, what does that do for you? People see that you are called a business member or a executive member. It adds let's put it this way, a credibility to your account that you're not going to find at Twitter or at Facebook or even at SoCal.
That is an important comment right there. It is important to establish credibility.
That's right. And it's not only going to say it on your profile page. In the members area where people are yakking all day long, it is also going to say here, it's going to say Stefan Turgenet, and Steph knows I can't say his last name, so I'm just going to say Steph. And it's going to have a little space here, and then he happens to be an executive member, so it's going to say executive member in brackets. Paula Fry is an executive. It's going to say the same thing next to her. It gives you, let's say in the social media world, it gives you an edge. People stop and say, oh, business or executive. That's a heavy label to put on people, and that's one of the things that you're going to get at Yak. There's lots more coming down the road, but I don't want to get ahead of myself because we're still in beta, but there's going to be all sorts of, for paid members, there are going to be ways to spotlight. We're going to call it kind of a hot seat or a spotlighting of your account, of your site, and you're going to be able to get help from other people on the site, input ideas about your site, how you would, from people who have expertise in an area that you're looking for. That's down the road a bit. We're probably talking another 30 days. First, we want to get all the basic moving parts working. And then, but the reason I'm pushing the upgrades now is because every time, anyone who locks in these prices now, they're locked in forever. So no matter what we add for that membership, you get it as part of the membership. So it really is going to be, we developed some good sites. I'm going to be immodest because it's really Phil that develops them, but he knows how to develop some very good sites, and SoCal grew from this little pipsqueak to this really well-known site now. I assure you that Yakimore will do the same thing, and it starts with such a big database right off the bat that you're not starting from scratch. You're not posting to no one. You're already posting to all of the people who are over under you at SoCal. It's an interesting concept. Phil came up with it, so I could say that. Anyway, I hope I gave you some information on that, Gary.
Yes, you did. Very good. And I also want to say for those attending the webinar today that you and Phil have been, you mentioned about your support ticket return being within 24 hours. And I want to really compliment you all for that, because I have sent in lots of support tickets, and every one of them, and mainly just for my own education, not problems that it's been, and that you guys have really been responsive to that. And I wanted to tell everyone I appreciate that, and to verify just what you said, that you all are very customer-oriented, very support-oriented, and no problem getting answers when we have them.
Well, thank you for that, Gary. That's one of the things we actually enjoy is really talking to our members, because some of you all have such good ideas, and you're right, it's not always problems in support. Gary sends wonderful things in to us, and you don't always have to send a problem into support, because we actually enjoy we have a support team, and they answer some of the more routine things like, I can't log in or whatever. But Phil and I are in there all the time because we want to hear from you. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know where you need help. So anyway, thank you for that, Gary. I appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys. And I think I'm going to have to say goodnight because I'm running out of voice, and Phil's going to kill me if I keep him typing on the the computer. So he's saying feed me. He's hungry. So I'm going to say goodnight. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight, and I hope you got at least a beginning way to think about marketing as a much broader kind of concept than maybe you've thought of it before. So stay tuned for we're going to let about a week go by. Then we're going to start doing a lot of demos on the site, and Yakimore will fall in there when it's ready to be demoed. But we need to do one on So Cool, so we'll have one on So Cool and on Cool Search and on OneClick, and even on our at the same time on Cool Ping, which is a very easy site to do, but we'll do a live demo in conjunction with OneClick. So I'll send that out as we set up the webinars. So good night all. Thank you so much for joining us.